In her January 2nd op-ed in the New York Times, Lori Teresa Yearwood writes an article, "Being Homeless Cost Me $54,000. She was raised in suburban Palo Alto, what is now Silicon Valley, where I also spent part of my childhood while my mom was on sabbatical at Stanford. Her father was a microbiologist with NASA. Her mom worked at Stanford, and she trained as a journalist. Moved on to starting a nonprofit to support children writing their stories in some of the poorest areas of San Francisco, and then eventually moved on. Through a series of unfortunate events and dislocations, she found herself homeless and suffered terrible abuse and trauma during that time, approximately 2 years. She was lifted out of homelessness through the support of an organization called Journey of Hope, and I highly recommend her article in the January 2nd New York Times for a strong sense of how devastating and possible it is for really most all of us to potentially face this devastating experience of homelessness. In our Parsha, Beshalach, the Jewish people are in a state of confusion as they attempt to throw off and leave the imprisonment of slavery. Paro knows that they essentially are facing a situation where there's no way out. And he says in Shemot 14:3, they are confused in the land. The wilderness has closed in on them. And the Ibn Ezra explains this as that we were like a person who can't find anyone to advise us and doesn't know what to do. Lori, in her article, describes before the Journey of Hope organization came to support her that she had no way to break out of the cycle of homelessness. Such was the physical trauma, the emotional and mental confusion and distress that overtook her. And what happens in our story is that the Parsha describes that Hashem led us out of the Mitzrayim in a roundabout path, definitely not the most direct path that could have been given. And the Torah describes it as the reason was ki karov hu, because it is close. There are different ways that this phrase ki karov hu is explained, but the Sfat Emet, Rav Yehuda Aryeh Lieb Alter, sees this term karov, close, as meaning that God is saying that in the midst of our confusion, as we wander among the nations, and also at that time as we were leaving Egypt, that God will remain close to us during confusing times, and that we will not feel lost, because just as God led us forth with a pillar of fire and a cloud to guide us and urge us forward at that time, we will know God's closeness in the future. In a Devar Torah written by Rabbi Adam Baldachin in a series called Moral Torah from Trua, he puts together these two stories, the story of Lori, who, thank God, is now safe and housed again, and the story of our nation leaving Beshalach, and puts forth a sort of tefillah, a hope that we who are housed can gain the courage to open our eyes to the needs of the homeless and the unhoused, and try to close the gap of gross inequity that stands between those of us who are housed and can generally tap legal resources and those who are homeless and generally cannot. Shabbat Shalom.